Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon and welcome to this session. So, we've tried to discuss what the brain, the cortisol, how do they affect? How do you put employee in the flow state? How do you make people, how do you understand the layers of the brain, the autonomic brain? How does the limbic brain, the center brain, how does the right side of the brain, which is your emotional brain, hijack information going to the rational, the thinking brain? So we will just move quickly and talk emotions. And we are looking at wrapping this session in the next 15 minutes. We need to wrap this session in the next 15 minutes. Let me look at my charts and see what we have there. Okay, I'm just trying to read some questions. So I think when we do the session for performance measurement, which may come at a time, from a research perspective, we'll be able to throw a lot of light in terms of what we should even consider, because a lot of the performance measurement scales. I remember one of the organizations we work, and one of my colleagues is in that organization. We used to sit with the HR person and we discuss. And a lot of times, even the HR person are not able to convince themselves that the measurements that they are using was good enough. And so I won't really want to talk so much about performance measurements so that I don't turn the class to a performance measurement class. But it's just for us to understand that we shouldn't just be excited about the end of a process. The goal setting, performance agreement is more important than the appraisal itself at the end. The end is the end state, but the beginning is the foundation. And when you lay a foundation that is not properly laid, then you have a problem. So it is very important. It is very, very important that we know that. I just want to talk briefly on personality, just to shed a little bit of light on the personality test that you have taken. For those of us that took the test, I just want to share this personality test. So the test that we took, just few words. It's not the intention is not to talk about individual tests of people. So what I've done with this slide is to break down what you did into what we call the ocean, which is the five-factor model. The five-factor model. So we use this mnemonic to explain it, which is openness to experience, conscientiousness. What I just want to say is that you must have received the personality test. It's important that you pay attention to it. What the personality test is saying is not that you are this or you are that. It's saying in the pool of people that have taken this test, in that pool of people, for example, in conscientiousness, if you scored 99 or 95, it's saying 99% or 95%, if that is your score, of people within that pool, showed that personality trait less than yourself. And so if you are talking about neuroticism, so if your percentage is 1%, it's saying that 99% of the people in that pool where they score less than yourself. So it's not absolute in terms of you. So don't interpret it that, I am not open to new ideas in abeyance. No, Don't say, oh, I'm not sociable, I'm not friendly because I have a low score in extraversion. No, it's just saying that in the pool of the people in that particular test, that was where you stand. Like when you say percentile. So don't take it, but anyhow you can improve upon that is good. Then your emotional intelligence, look at those places, areas you have your strength, and based on what you've understood about what we've learned today, then you can take it from there. We try to explain. So I told you earlier that it is important for us to understand the definition of emotional intelligence from using your emotions to think intelligently and think intelligently about your emotions. So there are basically three standard approach to emotional intelligence, the models. And I guess most of us, we are very familiar with Daniel Goleman's competency-based model, which has a quadrant, a 2x2 matrix. By the left, you have self-awareness, you have self-management, which is self-regulation. By the right, you have social awareness. Then down right, you have relationship management. But those that are more into the Meyer, Salovey, and Caruso, I'm a very big fan of them because a lot of their findings on emotional intelligence are based on deep research, empirical. They are not motivational speaking kind of emotional intelligence. And some of the razzmatazz and the hype by Daniel Goleman were actually tested empirically, and they found out that they couldn't stand the test of time. So I'm a fan. Then you have the Reuven Baron well-being, and that model is very good, particularly for this time that we are in terms of our health, our emotional well-being at this time. Adeline is there, but it's not one of the major, but she's written a lot on emotional intelligence. You can add anyone that you want to add. So I've tried to discuss now on how you need to identify emotions and express those emotions, how you need to use emotions. So an individual's ability or capacity to perceive and recognize emotion. So in these slides we shared, the intention of this class of today is not really to talk about those things we are already so used to, which is identifying emotions. What does that mean? So I'm not going to go through reading these slides to you. I will share this slide. You'll be able to understand, but we've put a lot of details and some questions that should arouse your curiosity, that will put you on inquiry in terms of, do I really understand my emotions? Do I express my emotions the right way, appropriately? How am I using emotions, right, as a catalyst to facilitate thoughts? What kind of understanding do I have, both verbal and non-verbal? You know, how do I manage emotions in terms of regulation, self-control? Very important. Zidane Zidane had no self-control. It was actually what transpired on that day. But I can say, can you read your own and others people's mood? Can you express emotions effectively? Can you read the facial expression of colleagues, subordinates accurately? Can identify emotions they express in their faces. Sometimes a lot of the expressions that people make, they are non-verbal. Are you able? Because those are emotions they are expressing. It is very important for us to understand that. So let's move on. So the Meyer-Salovey, the test of emotional intelligence. So if you want to do a detailed test, but these are mostly what we researchers are very interested in, which is I might use a test of the Meyer, Caruso, and Salovey EI test. I might use Daniel Goleman test. I might use the Baron test, right? But that's not where I'm going to. Don't go. We need to share those three programs. And so it is good to have EI skills, But EI skill is not enough. You need other behaviors in your repertoire. You need other behaviors. You need transformational leadership behavior. You need authentic leadership. You need servant leadership. And you will still need more. Howard Gardner said you need multiple intelligences. So thank you very much. And thank you for your time. And God bless you. And God bless Nigeria.